He's 23, a diploma from a prestigious college in his pocket, sharp mind, and yet he's lying in bed scrolling TikTok. When asked, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" he just shrugs. His parents are confused. At his age, we were already paying a mortgage. He doesn't want anything. Sound familiar? American media keeps repeating the same narrative: lazy, immature, unwilling to work, no motivation. But what if it's not about them? What if the American dream itself has cracked? If you want to understand what's really going on inside the minds of Gen Z, watch until the end. In America, there used to be a simple contract. Work hard, get a degree, land a good job, and life falls into place. House, car, retirement. The social elevator worked. Gen Z grew up and saw something different. The 2008 financial crisis that bankrupted their parents. A pandemic that turned everything upside down. Waves of mass layoffs in the tech sector, where many of them dreamed of working. Research shows that 56% of young Americans say the current economy doesn't allow them to fully use their education and skills. The social contract broke. The promises didn't hold. So they stopped playing a game where the rules change every 5 minutes. In psychology and sociology, there's a theory about generations. Each generation is shaped by the events surrounding its coming of age. Baby boomers built careers in one company and retired with gold watches. Generation X experienced corporate loyalty with a hint of cynicism. Millennials believed in startups and self-actualization. Then Gen Z arrived, and nothing went according to plan. Today, only 28% of Gen Z feel confident about their career path. Among boomers, it's 59%. The gap is enormous. Employers are panicking. Professors are writing articles. Business publications run headlines. Why doesn't Gen Z want to work? Recent US data shows that 58% of Gen Z view their jobs as situational relationships, temporary phases they don't expect to last. Almost half are ready to quit at any moment. 1 in 4 might leave without notice. Offer them more money. They shrug. Threaten layoffs. They're not afraid. Ask for loyalty. They switch jobs every 1.8 years on average. From the outside, it looks like a disaster. But let's go deeper. They do have motivation. It's just different. A University of Connecticut study shows that for Gen Z, meaningful work matters most. Not just a paycheck, but the feeling that their work makes a difference. That they're valued as people, not just cogs in a corporate machine. 89% say a sense of purpose directly impacts their job satisfaction. They don't care much about titles. Only 16% plan to ask for a promotion anytime soon. Yet 55% believe they deserve more than they're currently getting. What motivates them is different. Transparency, respect, fast feedback, the ability to grow without selling their soul to a corporation. And here's the twist. Psychologist Adam Grant from the Wharton School of Business says, every generation complains about the next one. Millennials were once criticized, now it's Gen Z's turn. But the issue runs deeper. Gen Z is the first generation to say out loud what others kept to themselves. Work shouldn't destroy your health. Life shouldn't be spent entirely in an office. Money isn't everything. They're called unemployable. Columns in the Wall Street Journal suggest this generation is hopeless. But the truth is, they simply don't want to sacrifice themselves for a system that no longer guarantees stability. Christina Miller, a workplace mental health expert, explains Gen Z is not willing to stay in a job that contradicts their values, even if that means instability. And yes, they have their struggles. They grew up on their phones. Social media has increased anxiety levels. Former U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy compared the impact of social media on teens to an untested medication. It's harder for them to build real-life connections. They mature later, they live with their parents longer, but that is not laziness. It's adaptation to a world that's become unstable. As one expert put it, Gen Z is not against commitment. They're skeptical of promises that have been broken too many times. The real question is not what's wrong with them. It's what's wrong with a world where the only way to survive is to work yourself to exhaustion, with no clear reward at the end. And finally, not a question for debate, but for yourself. If you could choose, Work yourself to the bone at a job that drains you for the sake of abstract success. Or live here and now. Do what you love, earn less, but stay free? What would you choose? And more importantly, who is actually right? Think about it. Subscribe if you want psychology without fluff or labels, just the essence. See you in the next video.